Hey playa, have you ever been in a situation where you were overwhelmed with anxiety? You started to panic, you started to sweat, and you just didn't know how to handle it? Well, that's exactly what Chloe Dennis asked me when they said, how do I deal with an anxiety attack? Don't worry, Chloe. I think there are 5 simple things you can start practicing now to help you deal with any anxiety attack you experience in the future.
This is the Josh Speaks. You're watching the Josh Speak.
For those of you that are new here, my name is Josh, and every single Monday through Friday, I make videos sharing tips, ideas, and stories teaching you how to be your best self. And when anxiety takes over, man, it could be brutal. Sometimes there are more common and specific type of situations that can trigger it, like public speaking, or having to travel, or having to interact with someone for the first time. But other times, it may just come out of nowhere and totally throw you off guard. The scary thing about panic or anxiety attacks is that while sometimes they may only last for a few minutes, they can feel like they're lasting forever. And because of that, it can make you incredibly nervous about having them again and again and again in other situations. So what exactly can you do to help prevent them and then help manage them if they do happen again? Well, I think it all comes back to practicing mindfulness. In past videos, I've talked about regulating your breath. So when you start to feel anxious, one of the first things you start to lose control over is your mode of breathing. You might start to feel like you're at a loss for air. So the best thing you can do is to not worry about anything external for now, to really come back inside and really try to take a deep breath and then let it go. Try to regulate that pattern first. It's sort of like driving a car on the snow and having it skid. You want to ease into pressing the brake pad and slowly bring the car to stop. That means having self-control. So when you are feeling anxious, really focusing on each breath is important. The second thing is to try your best to prioritize what you need to do in that moment. A lot of times your mind can go all over the place and start thinking about a million different factors, but really try to think about what actually needs to happen. For you, that might mean sitting down or trying to end a conversation. If you really think about what you need to do in specific order, it might make it a little bit easier. So for example, prioritizing may look something like this. I'm first going to sit down. Once I'm able to do that, then I'm really going to focus on my breathing. I'm going to regulate my breath, and then I'm going to deal with telling everyone what's going on and manage that. The third point, which falls back on the second, is to speak up when you're going through these experiences. Don't worry, you have nothing to apologize for. You're not in the wrong or bad for feeling anxious in that moment. If other people are annoyed or bothered with it and they're unwilling to understand, well, your focus should really be on treating yourself. Sometimes we don't want to disappoint other people, so we force ourselves into situations that we just don't feel comfortable with. It's okay sometimes to let people know, hey, I'm not really comfortable doing that right now. I'm going to step out, or I'm just not going to participate altogether. Being uncertain sometimes like that might cause you to feel like you're not trustworthy and other people to feel like they can't rely on you, but try to communicate that beforehand that, hey, you have anxiety issues and that might surface when you guys are hanging out. If everyone's on the same page, then we can all work together, which leads me to my fourth point, which is to reflect on other times you've had anxiety issues before. In that moment, you might feel like what you're experiencing will never pass, that you're never going to get over it, but think about prior experiences before. You've probably felt those feelings too, and somehow you were able to work through them and continue going on. Look, each experience is real and it stands on its own, and it's not to say, well, you overcame it in the past, therefore you can do it again now. No, it's not that simple. However, you can remind yourself that this moment too will pass. You will eventually get through it, and it will require some practice and effort. And the fifth point, like we talked about breathing before, is to work on relaxing your muscles and overall just practicing mindfulness. Just like how your breathing can become stifled when you're anxious, your muscles may start to tense up. So the best thing that you can do is to really focus on just letting your body go, letting your muscles just kind of loosen up. The same way that when you lie down and go to sleep at night, you kind of just let your muscles relax and you just sink into the bed. You want to practice those same type of techniques here. Sit down and allow your legs to just kind of let go, allow your arms to let go, allow your neck to let go, and your body, and just really try to practice being mindful in that moment. As your thoughts keep racing, come back to the breathing, come back to letting go, and come back to recognizing that it will pass, that you will get through this moment, but you just need to work with yourself here. Practicing these techniques might not be easy to do when you're having your next anxiety attack, so I would highly recommend doing them beforehand. Do them now in your everyday life. Really try to practice focusing on your breath, focus on relaxing your body, focus on being open and honest and sharing things with people now. That way, when the time comes, you'll have done it enough times to really jump into that mindset where you're really going to take care of yourself and you're going to have the ability to do it. What do you think though? Have you ever experienced panic or anxiety attacks before? Leave your comments down below and we'll talk about it. Anxiety affects lots of different people in lots of different ways. So if you want to talk to me about your personal experience, you can always shoot me a DM over on Snapchat or Instagram. I do my best to answer as many messages as I can. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit the thumbs up button. And remember, the learning doesn't stop here. Check out the videos I have over there on the side because I think they'll be super helpful in helping you manage your anxiety, practice your mindfulness, and learn how to move through life being your best self. I'll catch you guys next time. As always, love and peace.